So I can tell you that my better camera, my Lumix S5, was clearly better in my opinion than my Panasonic GH5. I sold my Panasonic GH5 to have more light, to have more dynamic range, and this camera, the Lumix S5, is in my opinion a far better camera than the Lumix GH5. And I can tell you that that camera didn't make me a better filmmaker. Sure, the Lumix GH6 had some impressive, crazy application and features. It can shoot 5.7K in ProRes and 300 frames per second and 10-bit and everything. I don't know what else. It's completely crazy what this camera is capable of. And it has even 100 megapixel photo mode. The Lumix S5 has only 96 megapixel photo mode, and I can tell you that the Lumix GH6 has maybe more battery life than the full frame camera, because full frame cameras tend to use a little bit more juice of your battery than the small MFT sensor. But I can tell you that this camera, the Lumix S5, didn't make me a better filmmaker, but I reached the point where a better camera and it's stupid to say, but a full frame camera made me a better filmmaker. Because shooting in low light is for me very important. I'm from Berlin, I'm from Germany. I live in the 52 Breitengrad and it's cold usually here. If the Gulf Storm wouldn't exist, it would be freezing here. It would be freezing cold. We are like near the Arctic Circle, and Berlin is not the place where we have like 9 months winter and everything. All people think we have a middle good climate, but no, it's actually a lot of months very cold and windy at night. I tend to shoot a lot of low light condition because sometimes I use my camera more for my professional work than for my YouTube videos. For YouTube videos is an MFT system completely fine. For professional work is sometimes a full frame camera, I would say a little bit better. I don't know. If you want to have shallow depth of field, is a full frame camera. It's better. I'm one of these idiots now who say full frame is the better frame because it's the biggest frame. And if you want to have a really shallow depth of field, you have to buy some really expensive 10 to 25 millimeter f1.7 lenses for the Lumix GH6 right now, which are pretty expensive. That's not convenient, but the full frame lenses for the Lumix S5 are a little bit cheaper actually than the best MFT lenses. It is what it is. And do I regret buying the S5? No. Is the GH6 a very powerful camera? Yes. Will I maybe get it for a B cam one day? Yes, definitely. If my YouTube goes well, maybe subscribe to my channel, I will definitely get this camera for my B cam. If you decide now, do I want to purchase the Lumix GH5, a GH5 2S or the GH6? I can tell you, when you have a little bit spare money and you want to be future proof, invest and buy the GH6. If you are a little filmmaker and maybe just starting out, or I don't know in what state of your is right now, you have 100% both thumbs up, purchase the Lumix GH6. It's an amazing camera. It will make you a very good filmmaker. If this will be your first really professional camera, you can learn with this camera a lot. One thing I have to tell you, that 10-bit ProRes, high quality, 800 megabits per second doesn't make you a great filmmaker. Storytelling and framing and all these kinds of behind the scenes stuff is far more important than the best camera. I started my career with the good old Canon EOS 6D with 25 pictures per second in full HD in 8-bit in maybe 50 megabits per second and not 800 megabits per second. I started my career with it. I already made some money with this camera to purchase the Lumix GH5. And I made some decent money with the Lumix GH5 to purchase a Lumix S5. And yes, next year I buy a red Komodo. No, seriously. A better camera, better specs doesn't make you a better filmmaker, but it helps a lot. Thank you for watching. I think the Lumix GH6 is a really, really great camera. S5 or Lumix GH6, for me would it be the Lumix S5 still, because I'm one of these idiots who likes full frame now. Thank you very much. What is your opinion on the Lumix GH6? Will you purchase the Lumix GH6? I know one guy who will purchase the Lumix GH6. Greetings to Jimmy Loves Nature on IG. Little shout out, the little Hawaiian guy. No, he's actually not from Hawaii. He will be a Hawaiian guy one day. Greetings to England. See you, my friend, one day in Hawaii.